Are the Vancouver Canucks on the brink of a crucial turning point as they chase a playoff spot? With a key match against the Winnipeg Jets looming, fans are on the edge of their seats. Recent insights from former head coach Bruce Boudreau reveal that the team's success heavily hinges on one superstar's performance. Will Elias Pettersson rise to the occasion and deliver the offensive firepower needed for a playoff push? If you want to stay updated on this thrilling journey, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Bruce Boudreau has weighed in on the Vancouver Canucks' playoff aspirations, and honestly, his insights carry weight. As a passionate fan, I can't help but feel the urgency and importance of every game as we inch closer to the postseason. The Canucks faced a tough loss against the Utah Hockey Club, and with their playoff hopes hanging by a thread, every match from here on out is absolutely critical. Boudreau specifically pointed to the need for Elias Pettersson to elevate his game even further. And let's be real, Pettersson has been a force lately. But for us to really make a dent in the playoffs, he needs to be that superstar we know he can be, averaging between 1.5 to 2 points per game in these last crucial matches. Do you think this was the best decision? Honestly, I'm torn. On one hand, relying heavily on one player can be risky, but on the other, Pettersson has shown he can carry the weight. And then, there's the upcoming 6-game road trip, which Boudreau emphasized as pivotal. The expectation is clear. The Canucks must finish with a record of 4-2. Anything less could spell disaster for our postseason aspirations. It's a daunting task. The trip includes matchups against formidable opponents like the St. Louis Blues and the New York Rangers, both of whom are firmly in the playoff picture. This is where we'll see if our boys can rise to the occasion. Before we even think about that road trip, we've got a massive game tomorrow at Rogers Arena against the Winnipeg Jets, who are currently leading the NHL. A win here would be monumental, not just for the points, but for the morale of the team. It could serve as a springboard for the rest of the season. I know I'm not the only one feeling the tension. The stakes are high, and every fan is invested in how this plays out. Boudreau's analysis resonates with me, especially his emphasis on the team's performance in these last few games. The pressure is mounting, and while I am excited, I can't shake the feeling of anxiety that comes with being a Canucks fan. This is our chance, but will we seize it? The upcoming games will not only test our team's mettle, but also our resilience as fans. We've been through ups and downs, and after last season's promising run, we're all hoping for another chance at glory. And while I believe in our squad, I'm also cautiously optimistic. The playoffs are a different beast, and we need every piece to fall into place. What do you think about this pivotal moment in our season? Can Elias Pettersson lead us with the offensive firepower we need? And how do you feel about the team's chances on this crucial road trip? I want to hear your opinions down below. As we dive into the latest on the Vancouver Canucks, there's a palpable sense of urgency and tension. The season started with high expectations, but the reality has been a bit of a roller coaster. Now, as we inch closer to the playoffs, the Canucks find themselves in a dogfight for that elusive wildcard spot alongside the Calgary Flames, St. Louis Blues, and the Utah Hockey Club. It's not just a mathematical chase, it's an emotional one for us fans who bleed blue and green. This past Sunday's game against Utah was a real turning point. The Canucks had a chance to solidify their position, but instead, they let the UHC take control. The team's style of play has been a double-edged sword. Their low-event game can be effective, but it bit them when they needed to capitalize on scoring chances. Every point counts, and it's crucial to remember that the 2 points in October are as valuable as those in April. But they feel heavier at the end of the season, when every single game can make or break your playoff dreams. Looking ahead, the schedule poses its own set of challenges and opportunities. After a much-needed win against the Chicago Blackhawks, the Canucks are sitting at 73 points, just 2 points ahead of the Flames. With 16 games left, the math suggests they need at least 10 wins to secure a playoff berth. The upcoming matchups are daunting, especially with 6 games against teams that are not just playoff contenders, but are also 10 points ahead in the standings. These are the Winnipeg Jets, Vegas Golden Knights, and Colorado Avalanche, teams that have proven to be tough opponents. Vancouver has had success against the Avalanche, but they've struggled against the others, going 0-5 so far. Then there's the middle tier of teams like the St. Louis Blues, New York Rangers, and Minnesota Wild. These teams have their vulnerabilities, especially with key players injured. This is where the Canucks could potentially capitalize. The Blues are riding a wave of momentum, but with a little luck and some strategic gameplay, Vancouver could pull off some crucial wins against them. And let's not overlook the so-called easy games against the New York Islanders, Seattle Kraken, Anaheim Ducks, and San Jose Sharks. It's easy to think of these as layups, but the Canucks need to remember that they've already stumbled against 3 of them this season. There are no guarantees in this league, and we know that all too well. So, why do I still believe the Canucks can make the playoffs? It boils down to a combination of hope and resilience. Despite the turmoil of this season, it's remarkable that the Canucks are still in the hunt. They've had to navigate injuries to key players like Elias Pettersson and Quinn Hughes, both of whom have had their struggles but are beginning to find their form again. It's encouraging to see Pettersson starting to heat up with 5 points in his last 3 games. We need him to keep that momentum rolling. The return of Thatcher Demko to practice is another glimmer of hope. His presence could mean the difference between a playoff spot and an early vacation for the Canucks. If he can return to his previous form, that's a game-changer for this team. And let's not forget the importance of the young players stepping up. Filip Hronek has been a solid contributor, and the emergence of players like Marcus Pettersson is vital in solidifying the defensive core. But there's no denying the challenges ahead. This season has been marked by inconsistency, and the Canucks will need to find a way to string together wins when it matters most. They're in a position where they've learned to earn points even in their losses, which is crucial. Those loser points can be the difference in a tight playoff race. As we stand on the brink of what could be a thrilling finish to the season, I want to hear from you, fellow fans. Do you think this team can pull it together and secure a playoff spot? Honestly, I'm torn. I see the talent and the potential, but the path is fraught with challenges. How do you feel about the direction the team is heading? Are you hopeful, or do you think we need a more radical shift in strategy moving forward? Join the conversation in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts and expectations as we approach these critical games. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on all things Canucks. Activate that notification bell to ensure you don't miss any of the latest updates. Let's rally behind our team and hope for a thrilling finish to this season.